Hey, what's up guys? So I've actually gone ahead and made a Ninjago minifigure series. You know, something that LEGO should have made years ago. We did get a Ninjago movie minifigure series, but we really do need one for the show. So instead of waiting, I just went ahead and made one. So let's get right into it. Alright, so the first minifigure we have in this series is Young Woo. And yes, the first thing I'm guessing you can probably tell is that I've just printed off a torso and stuck it on him. It doesn't look great, especially close up, but I think that from a range, it doesn't look too bad. And also, his head and his hair also aren't the best. I did use just Chase McCain's from Lego City for that. But yeah, on to the next minifigure. So next is Young Garmadon. And I thought, you know, if we're including Young Woo, we've got to have Young Garmadon to go along with him. And for this one, I actually did print out some leg printing. And I think it actually kind of turned out okay. I wasn't sure how that was going to turn out, but I'm kind of happy with it. Yes, obviously his face does not look anything like Young Garmadon, but it was the best I can do, right? And also, I didn't know what to give him for an accessory, so I just gave him a staff. And one of my favourite in this series has to be Casual Glade. So I was originally going to make casual suits for all of the ninja, but then I thought that would get kind of boring, and we kind of already have casual suits for some of them. So the only one I actually went with for the casual suit was Lloyd. So obviously I gave him the Realm Crystal, because I think Possession was like the main time where he wore this suit, if you know what I mean. And the only bad thing is that, yes, like on the side, he does have light green there. It's not dark green to match his arm. And also on the back, I thought it would look good with the logo. And yeah, these legs are very old, so he basically slides on top of him. He has no grip at all. Alright, so next up we have Blacksmith Kai. And you might be thinking why I decided to make Kai's minifigure a blacksmith. And that is because in the Ninjago City markets, we did get a Blacksmith Kai, but I think anyone would tell you that that is very inaccurate. And I've got to say, I really do like how this one turned out. The printing does not look that bad. In fact, I would say it just looks like a normal torso print, but faded. And yeah, I also gave him, you know, a sword that, you know, he smelted. Alright, and the first minifigure we have that does not have any paper on him is Agent J Walker. Obviously, there's no other version of J I could have chosen to include in this minifigure series, and I think he turned out great. Obviously, there wasn't much I had to do on my part, just had to get a black suit and then add J's head on it. And I also gave him a gun that he uses on Bonzel in Dragon's Rising Season 2. And for Nia, we have a bit of an obscure suit. I didn't really know what I could do for Nia. Originally, I did think about her kimono in Season 10, but I couldn't really find any prints on Google for me to use. And yeah, by the way, all of the suits that I used in this video, I did just grab off of Google. So, huge shout out to anyone who has made them. But yeah, so obviously this Nia is a cop Nia from Skybound, if you remember that episode. I think it might have been episode 3. And yeah, I think she looks pretty decent. I don't actually have the original Nia head and hair, so I would have used that, but I couldn't, so I just used her current. And for the accessory, you know, I just gave her a phone, which I think looks pretty good. And sadly with Cole, I think he has to go down with the worst minifigure in this series. His torso obviously looks really bad, and I really wanted to try and get a mustache for him, but I didn't have one. And I also wanted to get a head and hat combo, but obviously it would have been really hard to do. And, you know, I also didn't have a hat to put on him. Actually, scratch that. I literally just remembered I had this hat from like a Series 12 Farmer. And, well, yeah, I think it's probably just best we take that right off him, because he does not look great. But I think I've got to say my favourite part about this minifigure is this microphone, which I really don't know how I got, but I really like it. And here we have the Legacy Tournament Zane. And you may not know, but Lego actually did make a Tournament Zane way back in the day, but it really just does not look anything like the other tournament suits, so I wanted to make another one. And as I said before, I did get these prints off of Google, and someone actually custom made this one, so I've got to give a huge shout out to whoever that was. And yeah, I think this one looks pretty good. The only bad thing is I could not, for the life of me, get those legs printing stuck onto him. And we have another pretty decent looking one, who is the first Binjutsu Master, and you know, since we haven't really seen him too much in the show, I decided to go off of one image that Lego had of him in like a promotional art or something, which is why he doesn't look too show accurate. And I've got to say, his printing actually looks pretty good. And also, I don't know why, I decided to give him a shoulder armor. But I also did put back printing on him, which I haven't done for most minifigures. But as you can see, it does not look that good, but you know, if I wanted to try it. And here I have our King, Dereth. I mean, I had to include Dereth somewhere, so I decided to go with his Season 9 Hunted suit. I did want to make his Lawyer suit, but I am just nowhere near good enough to actually make that. And I also don't own a Dereth minifigure. I know, I really need to get on top of that. But yes, I don't have a Dereth minifigure, so I don't have his hair. And that may be why his face print doesn't look that good. But in my opinion, I actually think it looks decent. And you can also kind of see a bit of white underneath it. And that's because like the only brown Lego torso I have is from Gizmo. You know, that Gremlins guy. And also, as you might not be able to tell on camera, but if I lift it up, you'll be able to see that the side of his legs have blue in it, and that is also because this is the only brown legs that I own, and it's from Newt Scamander from Lego Dimensions Fantastic Beasts. So yeah, I think Dereth looks decent. You know, it would look obviously a lot better with the actual minifigure torso, and also I also didn't have brown paint to paint his headband and mask, which is very disappointing. And the last two minifigures we have in this series are very similar to each other. I'm going to put them together. And that's Aaron and Sora. So obviously, these are their Imperium disguises from Season 1. And the first thing off is Aaron's hair is dreadful. Yes, this is like the closest thing I had to his hair. And well, it doesn't look the worst, but yeah, definitely isn't as good as if I had his actual hair. And with Sora, I wish that she kind of had like a happy face, but I don't think they've actually made one of that so far. And also, I kind of wanted to cut off the cat ears, but there's no way I was going to do that. This is the only Sora hair that I own, and there's no way I was going to ruin that. But yeah, they don't look awful. I mean, you can definitely tell they're printouts, but yeah, let's put them all together and have my final verdict, I guess. Alright, so I've got all the minifigures lined up, and I just managed to fit them all in on camera, and yeah, I know this wasn't like the best customs you would have ever seen. There have been many more people that have made better ones than me, but I thought, you know, I'll give it a go, and I hope that you at least find them half decent. And before we end off the video, I thought that I would rank them in order from worst to best in my opinion, so I'll do that right now. So I've got Blacksmith Klein first, just because I think it looks so clean and it's so iconic. And Jay second, because basically didn't use any printing on him and he looks pretty identical to the show version. Tournament Zane is kind of the same thing with Kai. It does look pretty good. I mean, on the outside edges, you can see his old torso, but I think it still looks pretty great. They have Casual Glade. I really like the look of it and also pretty iconic. Then the first Binjutsu Master, same as Kai and Zane. I think his torso printing looks kind of good on him, and I think it is just a very good looking minifigure. And then we have Young Woo, who's a minifigure I've always wanted, so I kind of have to put him high up on this list in the middle. And then we have Young Garmadon, same thing with Woo. I've wanted him for a while and I think he looks decent. Then sadly I have to go with Cop Nia. I mean, Somi's this low on this list because, you know, we only saw her in this suit for one episode and it was only for a very short time. Then we have Aaron and Sora Imperium. There isn't really a difference between them. I just put Aaron ahead because, as I said before, the ears on Sora aren't that great. On this minifigure, I should say. And then with Dareth, I mean, yeah, it looks kind of awful, as I said before. And I don't know what I did to my boy Cole. I definitely need to give him a redemption at some point. Alright, so that is my custom minifigure series. I would have liked to include some more, but LEGO have recently only been including 12 minifigures in the minifigure series, so I felt that I had to do that. So I might make another video making some more custom minifigures, because I did ask you guys, like, about a month or two ago, which characters you would like to see in a minifigure series. So yeah, I might do that video later down the line. And also, you know, let me know which characters you liked and which ones you didn't, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot more of those. And, you know, check out one of my other custom minifigure or build videos. See you later. Be Ninja.